Okay, I mean, just basically, I'm Paul Hindmarsh. I'm from the UK. I've come over here just to go through a whole bunch of the new products that Line 6 have got available. Obviously, some of them are less new. You've got them in your store and sold at them already. Just because I've always been a big fan of Line 6. I've always thought Line 6 was way ahead of the competition, and I really think with Pod HD we've really kind of raised the bar even further. Because the advancements in processing power mean that we can now put high definition models into a whole new range of products. This to me has brought a clarity and a realism and a dynamic into the responsiveness of how these models sound that I've never heard before. It's certainly in the modelling process, and I can't even tell it's a modelling processor anymore. One of the things I've been doing kind of in stores is really running it in a very kind of dry way where you can really just hear the quality of the HD models. So to do this, you're just going to hear the normal magnetic pickups of the James Tyler guitar. We'll kind of run through this sort of. As I'm coming out the back of the pod, I've got just a normal output, and I'm actually just running into the effects return of the Bogner Alchemist. So the actual Alchemist not adding a great deal to the sound, it's just making the pod louder. So to take that sound, this is the sound of just the effects power amplifier on the amp. If I drop in a Fender Twin preamp, you really get to hear that realism and that life that just hasn't been achievable before without the new sort of processing power we have. I call them my favourite models, just let you hear them kind of stripped back. Divided by 13, so we just hear the power amplifier section of the amplifier. That's all the amplifier's doing. But let's drop that divided by 13 in. The way the notes are responding now, if I dig in, I play loud. Back the guitar off. It really cleans up like a real amplifier. So just a couple more. Let's go through one of my favourites, the Marshall JTM 45. Get to hear that glassy bell-like sound that you get from an old Marshall. And that really does sound like an amplifier, doesn't it? It doesn't sound like there's any processing going on anymore. Also in the range of pods, I've got a bunch of M series effects, which we heard in the M30 and the M9, which I'm sure you're more than familiar with. So I can take them and I can add them to any of the 16 new high definition models that are in here and get some really cool sounds like that. Let's add a Chandler tube driver to the Marshall and a bit of Univibe for that Hendrix kind of machine gun sound. M series effect, and the new high definition model really is like something special. And for the more metal player, so I'm just running through the 16 amp models. I'm just going to run through the 4 here. So, for your more rock player, I've got a Mesa Boogie tread plate sound. A really big, meaty, modern, aggressive sound. Now, as I was saying before, got the range of like a great complement of M series effects in there. HD 300, we've got 80 different M series effects in there. We've got 100 plus effects in the 400, and we've got 100 plus effects in the 500 as well. We've got everything in there from that Marshall sound. I just put a bunch of my favourites in that I'm sure you'll recognise. Some really cool tremolos from a Vox amplifier model and from a Fender model. Things like Phase 90, Dodd 250s. Also got some of the more crazy sound. goes your sort of Bootsy Collins kind of crazy bass type sounds in it. You can lay those out like a custom sort of pedal board. On HD 500 you can have multiples of the same effect as well, which I think is unique to any product that's out there. We can have multiples of delay pedals, or if you really like Boss Metal Zone pedals, I can have up to 8 Boss Metal Zone pedals all running together. It wouldn't sound very good, but it would be it would certainly sound very noisy. In addition to the 60 new high definition amp models and the M series effects, we've also got a looper for the first time in the pod range. 24 seconds in here, 24 seconds in here, and we've got 48 seconds in the HD 500. And you can do some really cool things with that. So if you'll indulge me for a second, go down there, do that. You guys done much with loop stuff before? Yeah. Cool things happening like that, and it's a great sort of pricing tool. Or we can do some really crazy things as well. We can reverse. Crazy flipping the tape around again, like kind of Hendrix type thing. Or we can even go a step crazy. Kind of cool modern film soundtracky kind of things going on. It's very easy to use, and it just takes a little bit of kind of getting used to. So to sum up on the range pods, they've all got the same 16 high definition amp models now, which are now achievable with the new sort of processing power that we have. So Pod HD 300 is going to be aimed at your customer who's playing in the house, wants to do some great quality recordings and have access to a whole bunch of effects, but is maybe not going to go out and do a lot of patch changing and a lot of like live playing. Although you could do that as well, but to a lesser degree than you could if you were to buy the 400. With this, we've got bank up and down. We've got an effects loop, so you can start to incorporate it into a bigger system. And then for your guy, your girl who really wants to go to town tweaking effects and go crazy, Pod HD 500. That's the one where you can really start to mess with the signal paths, have one amplifier out the left-hand side, one amplifier out the right-hand side, different models, different effects in front of them. Pretty much everything I've been able to imagine in terms of a signal path, I've been able to achieve with the HD 500.